Hi, my name's Gaz, the Mini Painting Punk, and word on the street is it's Orktober, so let's build something orky. So I've been rooting through the old White Dwarf back catalogue again, and I came across something that I always wanted to do when I was a little younger. I didn't really have the materials or the skills to do it at the time. I've now got the materials, I'm not so sure about the skills, and since it's Orktober, and this is an Orktober special, I thought I'd do something a little different, and at the end of this video I'm gonna give away the Gobsmasha that I build. Now, if you want to find out how to win it, then stick around till the end. If you want to win it, depending on how badly it comes out, so we'll see how it turns out, and then one lucky subscriber can win this thing. Let's see. So way back in 1991, when everything was a little bit more radical, White Dwarf did something that I would be surprised to see them do today. In the pages of issue 136 of White Dwarf, there were the instructions to build and also the rules to play this awesome Orc Gobsmasha tank, and that's what we're going to try and build today. Much like the townhouse I built in the last classic White Dwarf video, this comes with a bunch of handy shapes to use as templates for marking and cutting everything out. Instead of using foam board this time, I'm using plasticard. Plasticard is an excellent model making material. It's thin, it's strong, it cuts relatively easy, and your end product is just going to be stronger and sturdier than something made out of card or foam board, which for a piece like this is perfect. So we just need to cut the pieces out and assemble the basic shape. Next it was time to do the wheels. I took a bit of a shortcut with this. I used my craft knife to cut off the bottoms of 4 small drinks cans just to make a nice solid circular frame to build my wheels around. If you decide to go with this method, just be really careful because once cut the edges on those cans are really sharp, and then I just used some pieces of cardboard just to build the wheels around that aluminium frame. Then it's time to do the treads. For this it gives you a little template and it estimates you'll need about 17 plates for each wheel, so that's a lot of little pieces of card. All you're doing is just gluing them around the wheel with a slight overlap on one side. Make sure that when you do this that 2 of the wheels have the overlap running in the opposite direction. That way when you've got 2 wheels on each side of your tank, all your treads are facing the same way. Once the wheels are on and the basic structure is complete, it's time to do my favourite part of this project, and that is to go rooting through the bits box for lots of little bits.
Okay.
You'll see I've got bits from an old pen to make the turret, and I'm just going to go rooting through all my boxes for lots of little details and greebles to add to this thing to really bring it to life. This part was really fun, and the article encourages you to be creative with this part. Orc tanks are usually made up from bits of other orc tanks and bits of enemy tanks that have been destroyed, and no 2 are exactly the same, so you can really just go to town on this bit. Once I'd decided on all the bits I was going to use, it was time to add some rivets for extra detail. This bit was really fiddly and tedious, but like most tedious jobs, if you do it for long enough it does start to become quite relaxing. All I did here was take a little plastic spear, cut it into tiny circles, use the tip of my craft knife to pick them up, and painstakingly glue each one on. Fun. With that painstaking procedure over and all the little details on there, it's really starting to come together. All that's left to do now is give it a lick of paint. So I undercoated the model in Halford's red spray primer and left it to dry overnight. You'll see I've also sprayed the sides of the wheels black just to save myself a bit of time later on. And the first step is just to cover all the red bits in this lovely crimson wash. I then painted all the treads and the rest of the wheels in black, being careful not to get any black paint onto the red body of the tank. With the wash adding a little bit of shade and definition to the model, it's time to brighten it back up. So for this I just used some bright red paint just to do an all over dry brush, just to catch all those edges and highlight them and just bring the model back to a brighter red. I then used some metallic paint to paint the wheel rims and all the little metal details on the tank as well, including all those tiny rivets. Next I added some definition to the black treads by just giving them a dry brush with a dark grey. Then I used Nuln Oil wash just to blend the grey back in a little bit all over those treads, and I used the Nuln Oil wash on all the metallic details as well. For the last couple of bits of detail on the model before I call it a day, I wanted to add in some checker patterns. Now I did this by painting on the white squares first and then the black squares. I do realise that if I'd have just painted the whole thing white or black and then added the squares in, I could have probably done it in half as much time. There's a very good reason I didn't do that, and that reason is my own stupidity. And with that done, the model is basically finished, but the article comes with these really awesome old school Orc banners, and I couldn't resist doing a couple of those to add on to the model. So I picked two of my favourites and I had a little go at painting them. I'm not always great when it comes to painting on a two-dimensional plane, but these were so good I couldn't not try. once that final flag is finished, it's time to call it a day and finish this project. This was so much fun to do. The build is a bit janky, the paint job's a little bit janky too, but do you know what? I built it from scratch and I love it, and it's mine for now. I did say at the start of this video that I was going to give this away. I don't have an orc army, I don't really have anywhere to put this, so if one of you would like to win this, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel and comment Orktober. You can spell it with a C or a K, I don't mind. And at the end of the month I will do a draw and one of you will receive this in the post. I will of course do my very best to make sure this arrives with you in one piece. Based on the way it's put together, I can't make any firm promises, but I'll try. I do of course encourage all of you to have a go at building this. I had so much fun with it. You can find links in the description of where I got the instructions and the templates, and also some shopping links to where you can get the plasticard as well. I would love to see all your Gobsmashers. If you made one way back in the day, or if you made one after watching this video, you can send them to me on Twitter at minipaintpunk. That would be great to see. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, drop us a comment, and if you want to see more, you can subscribe to the channel for more videos every week. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.